And welcome back to I'm talking about a movie. So Spider-Man Far From Home. Saw this opening night, but I'm not getting until today. Sorry about that. Um, I'm not gonna make this too long, but I'll go into some stuff. Overall, I really like the movie. The movie is really good. Does have a few plot points that get pointed out by people. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't quite add up, but whatever. I can let certain things slide. But I mean, it's taking place in a post Endgame world. Obviously, it's movies been out for a while, so dealing with Tony's death. I like the in memoriam the high school's doing. Apparently, they think Black Widow did die, but then Captain America's also dead, and Tony Stark, and it's like, what was it? And I will always love you. They're just playing Whitney Houston. So I did enjoy that a lot. But no, I mean, it's Peter. It's basically with great power comes great responsibility. So, personified in a movie where Tony leaves him Edith, which is basically a defense system in the form of glasses. And I'm just wondering, why did he leave them to Peter? I know Peter's a smart kid, a very smart kid, but he's still a kid. Which is why I always get annoyed when people say, "Why does he need an Iron Spider?" So come on, it's like he's Spider-Man. Why wouldn't Tony make that for the rest of them? Because the rest of them are freaking adults who've been doing this for years. He's a 16-year-old kid who accidentally almost kills one of his classmates just because he took a picture of him under suspicious circumstances, mind you, where he thought he was hooking up with a hot German woman, but or Austrian woman. Which, to be fair, I mean, you're there, but but no, a lot of it is him just trying to find the time to spend time with MJ and tell MJ how he feels about her. And unfortunately, the elementals show up and Mysterio shows up, and it's a battle to save save the world from the elementals and everything like that. And look, the film has a lot of twists and turns. Some of them you see coming, some of them you don't. The two post-credit scenes are some of the best we've ever had. Jake Gyllenhaal, look, I loved him. I love Jake Gyllenhaal as an actor. He stole the show. He's definitely one of the. Mark was a little more. Mark honestly thought like characters like Malekith were better than Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm like, wow, we really have different ideas of how villains should work. I think he put it like he understood Malekith better and found him more entertaining. I'm like, really? You found him more entertaining? Malekith had no personality. He had a very basic premise for his motivation as a bad guy. I mean, look, if you found him more entertaining, God bless you. Most people, including myself, did not. Is Malekith the worst villain in the MCU? I did rank them at one point. I did do an entire video on the MCU villains, and thinking back on it, no, he's not the worst, but he's on the low side of it. Like, he really is pretty low on the totem pole for villains. But no, like Mysterio, not surprisingly, and I'm going to put spoilers in this because why not? He is the villain. The whole multiverse thing is bullshit. It is. He made it up. It's basically he took advantage of a post, as they call it, the blip is what the event was that brought where everyone got brought back. He took advantage of the post blip hysteria and basically created this idea of alternate universe, multiverse, things along those lines. And basically he's using that to make himself out to be the hero. It's kind of a syndrome thing from Incredibles where he's making the events happen with, hologram tech. And I heard someone bring up, like, why did he need Edith if he could do this already with projectors and things along those lines? Well, he needed Edith for the full effect, the full system, like to create like worldwide panic and be the hero. And yeah, and here's the thing: you find him a likable villain or is a likable character because up until it's revealed, he's a likable character. Like you think he's this hero from another Earth, which I was always suspicious about that. But if they had gone that route, fine. He's a hero from another Earth, fine. And he's cool. It's like, how does his powers? He kind of like an Iron Man-esque suit that shoots energy of some kind, like a smoke, like energy. His fishbowl design, while always been silly, they do make it look good. And the elementals, we see Hydro Man and see the Earthman. I don't know if that's actually supposed to be like Flint Marko as the Sandman, but the Earth Elemental. And then the fire elemental. The fire elemental was probably the most fun one, definitely. But you see them, and he's having this talk with Peter in the bar, and he's like, it's like, what do you want right now? He's like, I wanted to be friends with him. He's like, do it. It's like, you get trusted with this. And he's like, I'm gonna tell you that the look looks dorky on you. And Peter it's like, we're gonna give it to you. This guy I've only known for a few days, but you seem like a good guy. And then it's revealed he's the villain. Now, here's the thing. Up until that point, I'm like, okay, fine. It's like, I pretty much assumed he was the villain. And I like him in the second part of the movie, but the motivation is like, it's another Stark-based, like, really, like, how many villains come, like, of the 20-some, 30-some odd villains we've had, 3 are Stark-based because it's Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. And then Vulture was a guy scorned by Stark. And then you get this guy who was scorned by Stark, worked for Stark, which how did no one pick up that this guy worked for Stark Industries? Do a background check. Oh, no, he works for Stark Industries. He's lying. So how did no one pick up on that? I don't know. So that's like 5 out of this 30-some odd, which wouldn't sound like, but it's over 30%, or over 10%. That's almost 20% of the villains we had come from Stark, and that's just the ones I remember. There might be a couple others that had ties with Tony Stark, so who knows. But yeah, it starts to get a little comic booky, for lack of a better term. And not in a bad way, just that I did actually like him more when he was the hero than when he was the villain, to be honest. But, he does a lot of cool things. The whole illusion sequence with Peter Parker, and you know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. It's like, oh man, that is like right out of the comics. Oh my god, that is so freaking awesome. And then he gets hit by a train. Yeah, no, that was fantastic, visually just awesome. But I mean, it's not just him. I mean, something was, even I could tell something was kind of off with Nick Fury throughout the entire movie. Like, I didn't see Nick Fury being this gullible or anything along those lines. When we get to the post-credits scene, it makes a bit more sense, obviously. But at the same time, there's the idea that he's been gone for 5 years. Things are not what they used to be with him. He doesn't have the access to stuff he used to. He doesn't have the information he used to. He even says that, like, 5 years ago, before I got dusting, I had eyes and ears all over the place. I had all the information on. Now I don't know shit. So I thought that was an interesting aspect, and then they revealed what was going on with that. The action sequences, a lot of people said this is some of the best action you get in a Spider-Man movie. No argument. Some of the best action you'll get, absolutely. It's also extremely funny. There are jokes. It's like Night Monkey. It's a Spider-Man knockoff. He's called Night Monkey. It's when he gets like the stealth suit on. It's called Night Monkey. It's like, Night Monkey. The Night Monkey joke. It keeps going. And there's some other joke, like Happy and being involved with Aunt May, who we do learn was dusted. We learned she was dusted. Now, I don't know if Happy was. I think he was. We know Pepper wasn't, but I think, because we don't see Happy until the end of Endgame. So it's very possible he was dusted as well. Because he says it's his post-blip beard is what he drew. So, yeah, I'm thinking maybe he was also dusted. But I digress. I mean, no, because they imply that he wasn't, though, because the whole posters, Avenged Fallen, I believe he was on the poster. So I guess he wasn't. I don't know for certain. But yeah, it's a really funny movie. Flash is a dick. He's such a high school dick. And it's also a really sweet movie too. The relationship between Peter and MJ is real. I really like Tom Holland and Zendaya. Now, there's no confirmed proof that they are dating in real life, but it's implied that I think there's some like hints in like their like paparazzi and whatever. But who cares about the paparazzi? It's believed they might actually be dating in real life. Don't spread that around or anything like that. I'm just saying it's implied I think they might be dating in real life. And if they are, you know what? I can see where that chemistry comes from, because they are very awkwardly adorable together on screen. So when they end up together, you're like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. And then Ned gets a girlfriend, goes on the plane, gets a girlfriend, comes off the plane home. It's like, oh yeah, we broke up. Oh, look, Peter, people grow apart. People are... And Ned, honestly, I do love Ned, But there's points in the movie where I'm just like, Ned, shut up. Ned, shut up. Ned, shut up. Like it's like Peter. It's like, what happened to the whole European bachelor thing? Yeah, it's like the Peter. Those are the opinions of those are the thoughts of a child. The people grow, they evolve. I'm an adult now. I'm a man with a relationship. It's like, what happens? I thought you guys were perfect together. He's like, Peter, people grow apart. People expand. They grow. It's like, there's parts of me just like, Peter, Ned, shut up. No, Nettie, baby, Bobula, shut up. Just like, stop, get your head off your ass, Ed. In a fun way though. Ned's very likable. I mean, I could go over every little bit of detail involved with the movie, but that wouldn't be a fun video. I will say all on is the 2 post-credit scenes. The one where we get the reveal that Mysterio caused one extra illusion and framed Spider-Man and exposed his identity. Like, oh shit. But also the fact that we did get J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson. Kind of, as I heard, Alex Jones J. Jonah Jameson. So that's interesting. But he's like, yeah, that was the part where everyone was just like, yeah! And he was just like, yeah! I was like, yeah! But also we get the reveal that it was Talos and his wife from Captain Marvel. They were Skrulls. Nick Fury and Maria Hill were Skrulls, and that Nick Fury is in space on a Skrull ship, implying the sword aspect of it. Sword and shield. Shield is like the dealing with intergalactic threats, whereas Shield is dealing with the Earth threats. So I thought that was really kind of interesting hints of where the MCU might be going, leading to later on. We'll have to wait and see it, probably either till D23 or Comic-Con to see what the next MCU lineup is. Because right now we have no confirmation. We know that a couple films are in development. We know that Black Widow is filming. We know that they're going to be working on Doctor Strange 2 and Black Panther 2. We know that Shang-Chi is coming. We know they're going to work on an Eternals movie. That's 5 movies right there. I'm probably missing a couple. Those are just the 5 I know about that are coming. So we're going to have to wait and see what Marvel Phase 4 is going to look like and what's going to throw at us. But we're getting at least 2 to 3 movies a year. So, look, I just said 5 movies right there. All 5 of those movies could come out within and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We know that's coming. But I said 5 movies right there alone. Plus a third. Or 6, sorry. We could get all 6 of those movies within the next 2 years, theoretically speaking. I don't think we are. I think they only got 2 slots lined up for next year. But in theory, we could. And then what comes after that? That's the question. But anyway, we'll find out in the future. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, what if, anything to do with the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, folks. Later.